All right, we're live. June, it's wonderful to meet you.
Nice
And I think your last name is Shimuzo.
Shimizu.
Shimizu.
Great.
Okay. Welcome. And we are so happy that you were part of the Brilliant Breakthroughs
Thank you.
book series. This is number 4. For those that are listening, be sure and pick up a copy. He wrote chapter 8 in the book.
Yes.
And the title of his chapter is Uncovering Your Cell's Stories. Discover your quantum nature. You are the best asset of your business. You know, if we aren't healthy, we can't serve in our business the right way.
Isn't it? That's the bottom line. Yes, absolutely.
So tell us why you wrote the chapter and what it's been like to be a part of this book series.
Yes. So as a study as a medical practitioner through the Chinese medical practitioner, and now I'm moving to integrated medicine with a quantum principle, which there's a quote says that we are spiritual being having a physical experience of the human lifetime, right? So if we're looking at the whole aspect of our self-expression of the being, to be the best of your human being as yourself, and how can I help and support? So that was my really idea, and then we're trying to empower globally. So I had an opportunity to see that many patients and clients that they have their own small businesses, which US is all about. So they are struggling, having more than 80% of chronic stress in the US. This is among their own entire small business people, and they're having all the chronic disease. So if they are suffering from physically, mentally, emotionally, how can be the best to be a small business entrepreneur? So this is one of the best opportunity for me to really help them, empower them to create their inner strength and outer strength to really help them to uncover your self story, which all the story that we have within yourself to get to where you are. But now you want to be the best, you want to be successful. Well, if you look back at yourself, all your history behind you. So if you keep repeating your thoughts, your behavior and action on a daily basis, how you can create the best version of yourself and the success in business.
Pretty impossible, isn't it? Unless we handle and take a look at all of that. And we know that if we're not feeling well, if we're not at our best, it reflects really on every way we do our business.
Exactly, yes. So that's helpful for me to really write the chapter, to really give you tools and for them to really take in control their own health and well-being. Yeah.
Well, there's a really cool quote in your chapter by Ann Tucker. It says, "It's all your energy. Your energy is the blueprint for whatever you're casting out into the world." And I think it kind of weaves around every aspect of who we are. It's spiritually, it's physically, it's mentally, emotionally, physically. Every aspect of how we are connected makes a difference. And we're called upon to be leaders in today's world. We're called upon to bring our messages to the world because the world truly does need them. Yeah. And to lead, we need to be healthy to do it. We need to be able to stand up. So what do you do in your practice to help people get connected to all of that? How do you operate?
Yes, so we create the company with my business partner, Dr. Isabel. We graduated from Quantum University with the PhD in the integrated medicine with the quantum principle. So we had the same mission, the vision globally. How can I help empower people? And we want to really help future generation, which is the children. But in order to help them, adults need to be helped, right? We are the ones that create a manual for them, guideline for them. Right?
Absolutely.
So we came up with so many different tools with ancient wisdom, with the modern science, with the technology behind it, to really create closing a bridge between, there's a spiritual, energetic woo-woo, they used to say, and then all the Western medical scientists say, I don't get that. There's a disconnection happening. It's called a separation. No, it's not separation. It's all oneness and wholeness together. So how can I cross this bridge? This is where the quantum principle, quantum physics plays a role. Yeah.
And so how does that work? How do you integrate the two?
Right. So because of the brilliant technology that we have now, they're able to identify that what's the quantum field, what unified field, what's called zero field is all about, where it comes from the original nature, right? So we are now able to assess and able to find out what your energy behind it, how where you are in the energetic level. So now if you have all the visual proof or the number of the proof, the people can now start identify, oh, this is where I'm at energetically, where I'm at my emotionally, and there's so many technologies and tools available able to monitor them, and you can see there's a transformational process going to happen.
Wow, that is so interesting. And can you work remotely when you work with clients? Can you do it like we're speaking to each other from across the country?
Yeah, this is so incredible timing because COVID allowed us to compress that timeline from this going to happen in 10 years. Now it's happening now. And all new technology that we're encountering, we're experimenting right now, able to remotely scan your vital body, able to identify it as an image shows up. And then you can compare to Western medical notes, almost identical. So seeing it, believing it, and when you experience, become your belief and new perception right there, right?
Right. And actually, for some of us, we don't really want to go through the traditional medicine way because we feel like it hasn't really worked for us. Mm-hmm. And we realize that it doesn't have to be so intrusive. Right. That it can be in a kinder, gentler way to take care of our bodies.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Of course, we cannot, dissuade, the Western medicine. This is an amazing technology they help us from the emergency situation to live life, right? So, what their area of their not interest for them or their not expertise, that how can I make the emergency situation to get you stabilized, and then from there to help you heal to get up to your feet, right? So this is where the missing link is. So we really have to ask each genius though. So they are genius on the helping emergency, right? And healing.
They are.
Yeah, for medical practitioner, all these healing modalities are genius on how to help them heal towards the direction of your, where you need to be at.
So, how exciting.
That is very exciting time. And I think it's coming together, and many Western medical doctors, my friends, they are open the idea, they are open the visions that I get that because we are with an end. We don't know what to do. Give me a tool. So they are reaching out. So we have to just give a tool, the language for them to understand, and then immediately boom, close the gap, and then all the beautiful integrations to happen.
That is so exciting because that it's our world is transforming before our eyes because of what we're facing with with COVID, with all the other things that it isn't just here in the United States, it's worldwide, it's everywhere that we're all faced with. There's got to be a better way. There's a new paradigm as far as figuring out how to take care of our bodies, but it's every aspect of us. It's the spirituality part. It's all the connection, even that we have with each other, that makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
So in your chapter, you say, which lens or perspective do you wear to see the world? Let's address that because I think that is something that we all know we have different challenges and different perspectives on life. So how does that lens and how we view the world and in life affect our health?
So this is a term, there's a newest term called in the neuroscience called the psychoneuroimmunology, called PNI. And there's some other people called PNEI, psychoneuroendoimmunology. So now there's a neuroscientist find out the minute you think as a fear, when you're perceived as a threat. So your brain produce, or actually your mind tell your brain, okay, this is dangerous. Now creates that hormone called the neuropeptide, the very specific signature, the signals that send that into your physiological organ system right away. So your body receives that signal, and then they'll start acting up immediately, trying to fight and freeze, and then trying to escape, right? So this all the physiological cascade effect happen. So you keep doing this all the time, that you're perceiving a fear base, even though your boss or the director, manager speaking to you in a very disrespectful way, now you start seeing it as a threat, correct? So now you're producing those neural signals in a regular basis in 24/7. That's why adrenal function, the kidney receive those signal, and they don't know what to do. They get so overwhelmed. So,
Like, oh, you're messing with me here.
well, you don't want to keep running, like a marathon for 24/7, 365 days. You'll get exhausted, right?
Right.
So your physiological organ system doing this all the time unconsciously, right? So then to the point people say, oh gosh, I have high blood pressure now. I have a called adrenal exhaustion. Oh my gosh, my thyroid is not working. Or why how's my liver is not having such enlarged liver? Or why is that? Because everything your mind is interpreting and is sending a signal on a regular basis. So if you don't change the lens, not to perceive as a threat, and say, okay, no, I identify it is the situationary. Okay, this is situational. Let's look at the bigger picture, right? So when you start seeing the macro scale of the picture, COVID, oh my gosh, this is deadly. Or if you step back and you look at the actual statistical analysis, last year people died with the flu more than the COVID. Okay, just the statistics itself, you need a different perspective. I said, okay, well, let's just think about it here, right?
Right.
So if you give them more information, more wisdom, more tools, and allow them to open up the macro scale of vision, now all of a sudden they can shift the lens. Now your brain will send the same signal. They got to send a different signal to your body.
That's amazing. That's beautiful. I think that, I have looked at this whole COVID thing and the fear, a lot of fear based around it. There's so much that is happening. My intuition has said that the common flu has also killed many people.
Exactly. That's a fact.
Right. And so I question kind of the massive fear that's surrounding this.
Mm-hmm.
And wondering, there's got to be a better way to approach this. There's got to be a better way that we can connect and stop with the fear part of it and just simply handle the whole body instead of pinpointing little things.
Right. That's where the mindfulness approach, right? The number one I talk about in the book called the conscious breathing. So there's now research shows that from the Harvard Medical School, the amazing, incredible the institution done the medical research. Now, taking the 15 minutes, if you do every single minute, 4-second inhale and a 6-second exhale. So 10 seconds per breath. That means that 1 minute you do 6 breaths, right? So if you do this consciously in the 15 minutes, research shows that after six weeks, most chronic disease, migraine headaches, chronic pains, right, high blood pressure, more than 80%. All the medication disappears and you're going back to the state of homeostasis.
How fascinating.
So because the heart projects all the forward-way direction to the mind, mind will give all the signal to your rest of the organ system, but only the heart, as an organ, has a neural brain in your heart organ system. And it's projecting all those neural signal, electromagnetic signal, hormonal signal, everything's back to the brain. Now brain starts to relax, calm down, and then all the waves start shifting.
Wow, that's beautiful. Wow, I could keep talking about this for days. This is so fascinating.
Yes.
So the mind-body connection that you're talking, because I have 2 screens, I'm able to look at your chapter here.
Yeah.
And you talk about the mindset trap.
Mm-hmm.
A pattern trap, and it says if your mind and thoughts are not in alignment with your heart, that it's going to create disease and stress.
Correct. Yes.
That's beautiful.
Is that everyone knows that where do you feel the love, right? So we
Right.
all know it's the heart. Heart is representation of love. And interesting enough that you think that is the heart is the emotion, or what is it? Have you thought about that?
It's kind of
love. Love is the emotion, or what is it?
love is everything as far as it's part of every function of who we are.
Correct. That's the universal, the state of who we are, the being, right? As the consciousness and all the spiritual mysticism says it is the oneness with the God. God provides us a love, unconditional love, right? We all know that, no matter what. So the emotion that we have, when you stay in your heart, stay in your love, that can create the correction and the harmonization of all the emotions. Right?
Wow, that's beautiful. Well, I think that anybody that's listening to this or will listen to it or picks up a book or is going to enjoy, really, really love your chapter because it brings it all together. Because without the wholeness of it all, because we've had in this book, we're talking about profitability, people, productivity, and finding peace in your business. And if your health is suffering because maybe you haven't taken time, you work hard, you don't take the time to take care of yourself, you don't take the time to really keep that connection open that we need to, even the stopping and the breathing, then you suffer, but so does everybody else around you because you can't be the fullness of who you are. So really good chapter to read.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. We are all together here. There's no such called separation. That's illusion. So you and I are together. And especially electromagnetically, when you're projecting all the fear and anger, the frustration, it is the actual scientist shows that it goes up to 10 feet of this magnetic field. So people around you, they'll feel this magnetic field that are very recurring. It's not complement each other. So that's why even unspoken languages being told there, I don't feel like they don't want to be close to this person because they're projecting a particular frequency.
Right. Very good. Thank you for what you bring to the world, the leadership you bring to the world, the heart, the knowledge, and the being able to help us to connect the dots and find the pieces that bring us together. It was beautiful. Thank you. So for those that are going to hear this, be sure and pick up a copy of the book and read his chapter. It's chapter 8, and of course all the other chapters. But thank you, Dr. June, for bringing your wisdom to the world in the magnificent way that you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me and the amazing interview. So really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.